Vibe coding is absolutely making its mark. And as we continue to explore and dive into all of these programs, I have to say there is one thing that I didn't realize or take into account for any of the stuff that I've been doing. And it's those hidden costs that we don't see. It's one thing to spend money on tokens, but what about all that other stuff? Let's get into it. Now, this is pretty insane. I'm on Lovable and I was looking at my tokens because I re-upped because, when you're developing and you're into this, you are burning tokens left and right. So I bought another 100 tokens to help me build this cool thing, the customer relationship manager made simple. I looked at my credits and I only have 3.3 left. Mind you, I still get 5 free credits every day, but going through the debugging process, going through everything, it starts to add up. What I found out was when I click on this, I have this little thing called cloud and AI balance. And this is what really blew my mind because I didn't understand it. And it said that I've used $25 of the free $25 that they give me. I added $10 and I guess 72 cents. And the only reason I added this was because I didn't know what I was doing. It just said top up and I needed credits. So I thought it was going to give me more credits, but it didn't. It just charged me $10 for cloud usage. And then it used all of the cloud usage, all the $10. And then this is the AI where it says I only used 18 cents. So my head is kind of like, I don't understand this. I thought I'm paying monthly. Why am I having all these additional charges? So naturally, I did what anybody would do in this situation. I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, what's cloud? What's AI? What is all this stuff? So from what I understand, AI is when you create an application and you want to put AI functionality into that application, and Lovable kind of syncs it with Lovable. I'm sure other apps want you to use their platform, so they'll sync it. So this is the usage basically for the same way like you use an API for ChatGPT or for Claude. This is their usage for their API. So apparently I've used 18 cents. So go figure. Now the cloud thing is a little harder to understand. I don't really understand it. It says cloud usage updates daily. Recent cloud usage may take a while to appear. The problem with this is that I only have one live app and the other app is I'm just testing it. And I didn't know you couldn't publish it. I didn't know you could do anything. It was really, really frustrating. So apparently I used $35 in cloud usage and I did nothing. So my head was trying to wrap around that. So I went into ChatGPT and this is what I said. I'm kind of blown away at all the hidden costs to using vibe coding. I thought you just paid for the subscription to create the app, but on top of that, there's hosting fees, then there's AI fees, and then you move it. And then to move it, you have to use a database and pay for the database fees. And in that instance, I'm talking about Supabase, because even if you use Supabase, there is the free version, but if your app starts getting traction and you start using it a lot, eventually you're going to have to pay for Supabase on top, which is your database management, on top of whatever you're hosting, on top of your vibe coding bill. I said plus hosting the front end fees. It's like a list of nonstop fees. It's almost like just building on WordPress is easier and better. And in one of my videos, I said, is AI better than WordPress or is WordPress better? The flow of AI is better, but WordPress, I get one host. WordPress is open source. I buy the plugins, and once I build it, I only pay for my hosting. I don't continuously pay for other things except for plugins. And that's only if I've used, if I haven't made my own plugins or if I'm using premium ones. So I said I build one side. This is me telling AI my argument. I build one side, I pay for some plugins, but the hosting is the same. AI vibe coding, aka Lovable, seems to be nothing but a bunch of monthly fees adding up. Am I saying this wrong? Because I never want to say that, I am the author of all information, like I know everything. I don't know jack. I'm learning as I go, and as I go and I learn, I take the best of what I hear and I apply it to the things that I build out. So here's what it said. It says I'm not wrong. That's exactly right. Lovable, VO, Bolt, they make creation look frictionless and cheap up front, but the cost model shifts from pay once, own it, to pay monthly in order to keep it alive. So then it says, let's unpack this, right? The subscription. That's the base Lovable cost, access to the editor and AI prompts. You pay to build faster. So your subscription to Bolt, your subscription to Lovable only pays for the tool to be used. So all of the prompts, all the creation, like it's creating it, but your monthly token countage is only for the tool. You still have the extra stuff where the files are hosted, where the database is hosted. And this is crazy because as a developer for 20 something years, like I should know this, but I just assumed, which is we should never assume, that Lovable, just like ChatGPT, for the one price that I pay, I get everything. And that doesn't seem to be the case. So you have your $20, $25 a month fee, whatever it is, and that's just paying for the tool to use. And then you have your hosting and your cloud fees. When you hit add cloud in Lovable, which is what I did because I thought, let me give this a shot. You spin up Lovable Cloud, which is a Postgres DB and API hosting. That's where your app lives. That's what starts the billing. Even if your app is small, it's $5 to $10 a month for light use, $25 to $50 a month for normal use, and $100 plus a month for multiple apps and steady API calls. Meaning if you build something on Lovable or Bolt or wherever and you push it live, your monthly subscription doesn't cover that. You still have these additional hosting and database fees that have to get paid. And I hope I'm wrong on this. Like, put it in the comments. Like, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I just saw I paid $35 for something that's not even live, just for me testing it out back and forth. So that's kind of blowing my mind. I don't really understand that whole thing. It says Supabase, Render, or Vercel. They all have the same pattern. Free until your project actually gets traffic. And the AI usage fees, this is what I was talking about. So each generation inside Lovable uses tokens, of course. And then you have live AI features, summaries, chat box, content creations, etc. That's when you implement the AI into your app. So if you wanted to push a button to generate an email, let's say, or push a button to generate a blog post, that's your AI fee. So now you have, even if you're just tweaking copy, it hits your token balance. That's why your account showed a $35 cloud usage despite having only 2 small projects. So every time I was clicking and every time I was testing, it kept charging me, which is crazy. And then external database hosting. So once you move off Lovable Cloud, Supabase charges $25 a month for predictable pro hosting. So now I have my subscription to my vibe coding platform, and if I'm using Supabase, I'm paying $25. I mean, I could use it free. I've used it free before, but at some point you're going to have to pay for it, right? You paid $25 a month for predictable pro hosting on your database. xCloud, your hosting charges, yeah, that's who I used to host. It says if you use file storage or background functions, those cost too. So you got my front end hosting, the database host, Supabase, AI tokens, plus everything else you build. And then it starts to build on top of each other. Like it's just stacking and stacking and stacking, which completely blows my mind. I didn't understand. Let me switch this. So I guess what I didn't understand was that I just assumed my one Lovable payment was covering everything, and it turns out that it doesn't. Now, what are the actual penalties of this not working? I don't know, because the app still seems to work. I'm still able to test it, even though my cloud usage is maxed out. So I'm thinking maybe I won't be able to publish it. I don't know the repercussions, or maybe it's just kind of giving me a grace period because I'm not in it 24/7 where I'm constantly using things. So I might be in this little gray area for some reason, but I didn't realize, and this hidden fee is kind of driving me nuts a little bit, because $35, like I can get so many different hosting platforms for $35 to host a database and a website. Like to just host a database and a website and pay $35 to use it, like that's expensive. Like that adds up quick, and it's not even public. I can imagine if like 10, 15, 20, 100, 1,000 people start coming on the website, how much that starts to add up and starts to stack up. And you can kind of see like, well, gee, is it worth it for me to build on a vibe coding platform? And I'm exploring different things. So I just wanted to share that. That is crazy to me. If you have some insight on that, or if I'm thinking about this completely wrong and it's just different, like, please let me know in the comments. I would love to say that I'm wrong and that I just pay the $20 and maybe $20 more to host it or something like that. I've been exploring different ways. I've been talking to ChatGPT, doing some research to see if there are other ways that I can host a website instead of keeping everything on the platform, because I already pay for hosting. I have websites that I host. I don't need to necessarily host on Lovable. If I could take those files out and bring them in to just my hosting platform and just tie the database in there, like, I can do that. There's a million hosting platforms to pick from that you can do that with. So think about the hidden costs. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. In the next video or in one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to continue building this CRM, and we're going to explore some different options, because I need to know that there's other stuff out there that's not just going to run me $35 a month for doing nothing. Like, I literally did nothing. I don't understand what the cost is. I can imagine if I put this live and started, sending people an ads to it, what the cost would be. Have you experienced this? Let me know.